Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or as we like to say here at Shady Acres Woodshop, howdy! Look what we got in the mail. I'm so excited. This comes to us from Dave at Calmwood Creations. It's a piece of dogwood. I've never turned dogwood before, and I'm really looking forward to it. This piece is about 8 inches long, about 5 inches wide, about 2 inches tall. Dave sent this along with several other pieces. That's why it says Dogwood 2. I just don't know what to expect out of this. I see we've got a crack here in what used to be a branch, it kind of looks like. I don't think that's going to cause any problems. I'm going to go drill a hole here for my woodworm screw, get it mounted up on the lathe, and we're going to get to turning this piece of dogwood from Dave. I'm just going to see what this turns out to be. I don't have a clue. I am going to flatten off the bottom first because it's pretty whoopsie and wildly. We're going to be turning at just under 700 RPM, 5/8 inch bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. Very hard wood. Okay, so let's mark out for a tenon. And the easiest way to do that is just put my live center up here and lay my pencil on there. And just let it draw a line for me. I don't know, maybe we should use a recess. Who knows? That'll work for either one. Well, what's it going to be? Recess, tenon, recess, tenon. Kind of have to know what kind of shape we're going to have here. Going for a winged bowl? Well, I'm going to have to think that out. Well, I'm going to go with a recess, and I'm going to do it with this 3/8 inch standard grind bowl gouge. I'm going to make it a little bit deeper than I need to because you can see this part right here is unfinished. I haven't quite cut that away yet. I could cut that away first and then do this, but I'm going to make the recess and then cut this away so that we only have about 1/8 of an inch recess left. And I'm going to use my recess tool to finish it up. That'll cut a dovetail in here. This wood is just really hard. Now normally I wouldn't do a dovetail with a crack like that because I'm going to open up into this and I risk spreading it apart. But as you can see, that crack stops right here. It's not going any further and I feel very secure in that. Plus it's good all the way around the rest of the way. So I'm not worried about that crack. I don't think that's going to get any worse at all. Okay, we'll go back to our profile on the bottom. I'm going to approach from this angle and I'm thinking that's going to hurt. So I'm going to put a glove on. What I'm saying is the wood chips are going to hurt, not this. I'm not going to touch that. Okay, now I can pick the speed up. About 1100 RPM. Maybe I'll try a scraper. Oh, much better. Much better. Yay. Time for sanding. I'm going to start the sanding at 80 grit with my 2-inch disc sander, and I'll work up through at least 400, and I'll show you that as soon as I get my mask on. The lathe is spinning in reverse at about 400 RPM. So that's what it's going to look like, and I'll alternate between forward and reverse. I'll bring you back when it's time to put some finish on here. This is going to be nice. I really like this. I can't wait to get it all sanded up and get some finish on there. But it's pinkish. Who knew? See you in a bit. Well, that took surprisingly longer than I thought it would. But it's done now, and it's feeling nice and looking nice. I'm applying sanding sealer, shellac-based sanding sealer. And then we'll use shellac for the final coat. And this is so smooth, I think it may only take one coat of sanding sealer. I'll see after it dries and I smooth it out. I think I'm going to have to use a little brush to get in this crack here. This is just such pretty wood. I'm hoping some of that brown, I'm hoping some of that is on the inside. Then we'll just brush this into that crack. Nice. Nice, isn't that pretty? Okay, so I will, when I put the shellac on, it's going to look exactly like what I'm doing right now. No difference whatsoever. So I won't show that step. And I'll bring you back here in just a little bit when it's time to start working on the inside, which I just can't wait for. If it's this nice on the outside, it's got to be gorgeous on the inside. So, see you in a bit. We're ready to hollow it out. I've just noticed, I don't know why I didn't notice before, there's a little chainsaw nick right here. So I'd like my bowl to come out just below that. So I have about a 5/8 inch rim, it looks like. We'll see if we can work that out. We're going to be turning at 1400 RPM, 1/2 inch standard grind bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. I'm going to sharpen up. Uh-oh. I thought I was seeing something hollow. That's that branch we saw on the bottom side coming through finally. Not too soon either. Let's see how thick we are or aren't. Well, I'm down about 3/8 of an inch. I can't get in there any closer. We know that we're coming up about 1/8 of an inch with the recess. So it looks like we're just barely going to get much of that branch on there. I don't think we better go much thinner. Nope. Well, at least we got some. That's what I wanted. Let me just get that little nub out of the middle there. I'm going to put a fresh edge on my scraper and scrape it. I turn the speed up to 2,000 RPM. Try and get a smoother cut or scrape. Well, that just about doesn't even need sanding, but we'll sand it anyway. And speaking of sanding, yes it is, time for sanding. I'm going to start this sanding with my Sandroflex. I'm going to sand up the bark, which will clean it and smooth it and just make it feel nice, but it won't change the appearance of it, and I'll show you how that's going to work. And after that, that's 180 grit. The Sandroflex is 180, and I will stop there. That's as fine as I sand bark. And then I'll go to my 2-inch disc sander, starting at 180 grit also, and sand up through 400 on the inside. And I'll show you all that as soon as I get my mask on. And that also gets rid of the moss. There's a little tiny piece there. That gets rid of the moss that was on there and just makes it nice. Then with the lathe spinning at 500 RPM, and that's because there's so much air here. We're missing wood here and here. So I don't want to fall into that gap. So I've got the lathe spinning faster than normal. And that looks like that's going to be easy peasy. So I'll bring you back here in a little bit when it's time to put the first coat of sanding sealer on. See you in a bit. I am digging this dogwood dish. The pink, I even see some pink, probably because of the wood, reflecting onto the bark. The bark looks kind of pinkish. And I love that branch inside there. The sanding went really well, really easily. I sanded up through 400 just like I did on the outside. I'm sure this is only going to take one coat of sanding sealer, just like the outside. But I have to be careful that I don't go over the bottom edge where it's all nicely finished. Not sure what you'd put in here. Candy, I guess. Not popcorn, that's for sure. Not big enough for that. So I'll get this on. And then a couple of coats of shellac, just like I did the outside. I'll bring you back when it's all done, which won't be long now. We're having a heat wave. It's about 48 degrees, so it shouldn't take too long to dry in between coats. I'll see you back here in a little bit. I am enamored by this darling dogwood dish. Isn't it a cutie? Ended up 7 1/4 by 4 1/4 by 1 3/4 tall. I see something here in the in that branch. Do you see what I see? I see either a locomotive just speeding along, going really fast, or I see a buffalo also going really fast. See the buffalo's face there? Going really fast. Come on, you gotta imagine it. He's going really fast. Or what else? Nike swoosh. Okay, I'm stretching it. There's the bottom. I just think it's just cute as could be. Thank you, Dave from Calmwood Creations, for sending this along for all to enjoy. If you like this video, thumbs up please. I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very kindly. I truly appreciate that. If you're not a subscriber, you might consider becoming one. I put out regular videos about 1 a week, and I'd like to keep in touch. An easy way to subscribe is just click my picture you see there near the end of the video. Your comments are always welcome and I read all of them. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.